Alright, time to try and do something using the Black Rhino, which I think is one of the more awkward pets in Danger Pack. Originally it was actually a tier 5 and then it got swapped places with II, which was a tier 6. I'm not entirely sure which one I think is better at this point. I do think both of them have some problems in terms of how many attacks they actually need to trigger. Black Rhino is kind of like a delayed, an even more delayed version of Grizzly Bear, except it has a much higher damage output. So once I think it's 8 attacks have happened, then the Black Rhino will snipe for 30 damage. And generally after 8 attacks have happened, 30 damage is going to be enough to knock anything out. The problem is if that 30 damage lands on a 1-2 monkey or some other smaller unit. Having said that, in customs, most teams, once you get towards the late game, most teams have a lot of very big units. So I wasn't too worried about facing low-statted opponents. So I think we should be able to get half decent value out of the Black Rhino. Probably better value than you can get in actually playing Danger Pack itself. So here I go for level 3 Frog. I can't remember exactly why. Maybe I was going to try and swap stats onto the Rhino, but really we don't need big stats on the Rhino. We want our stats elsewhere in the team. And I've seen a bunch of Black Rhino videos already. Lots of different ways that you can try and activate it more than once. Because it is pretty difficult, I think, to get more than one trigger. Obviously, the easiest method would be having loads and loads of summons. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to try and do something a bit more atypical. So what I decided on in the end was to go for Coconut Crab. Now, there has just been a patch recently that has changed Coconut Crab's ability. It can still gain the coconut, but it's not permanent. So you have to activate it every battle, or activate it every shop phase. So it looks like here I'm actually going to swap the stats from the frog itself onto this Saker Falcon. I think I just want to have anything decent in the team. Since we didn't really get a good start going there, I can't remember what was in this pack, what I really wanted to get in the early turns. But I think the only thing we're going to keep here is going to be the Falcon. We don't really need to hang on to Cyclops. And the Falcon ability is decent enough to scrape us a 1 HP win here. There's another Cyclops. I guess since I have level 3 Frog, I can actually swap the stats again off of the Falcon onto something else. But I think it ends up staying in the team. Yeah, I just get rid of it. Obviously, keen to get the triple Cyclops setup going. I've had a few months off from triple Cyclops, so I'm going to treat myself. So in order to try and get Coconut Crab going, I decided that what I was going to do was use Beluga Whale. So if we get a level 3 Beluga Whale, and then we put a Coconut Crab inside it with Mushroom and then pill it, we can do that twice to get 2 Coconut Crabs and then feed them up so that they all have so that both of them have the level 3 coconut armor. And assuming there are no snipes or ailments, then level 3 coconut armor is going to result in 4 attacks. So if we have 2 of them, that's 8 by itself. So they can activate the Black Rhino just from the Coconut Crab ability. And then if we have another Beluga, like we get one here, we can put whatever we want inside it and to try and get the remaining activations. So actually, I think I'm going to use this second Beluga to try and get the higher level Rhino. Kind of risking things a bit here. I do put the Beluga at the back just in case they get sniped and then we get the Rhino out of it. Although maybe with such a weak team, we would struggle to get the activation, but actually we win because of the Saker Falcon. So we get the Coconut Crab inside the Beluga. I would need to find another Coconut Crab and a Mushroom, although we can't find Mushroom until next turn. Maybe I'm just going to take Kappa here for one turn. I think I'm also considering trying to get the other beluga to level 3. And thankfully this time I remember that there's a pill bug in the pack. This is something I've made a big mistake with many times in the past, where I'm rolling for pill and I just completely forget that pill bug was in the pack and I should just be buy selling it as soon as I see it. So in the end I give up on the Rhino inside the beluga and take Kappa instead. Luckily we face a team that has a big enough unit at the front that the Kappa isn't going to give them any units. Kind of funny to see Elephant plus Geometric Tortoise. Significantly worse than Elephant Blowfish, but much more stylish. So yeah, I guess because we have the pill frozen, it's a bit less likely that we'll find the mushroom, but we do get another Rhino. So I think I am just going to use this first pill to get a level 2 Rhino immediately. Yep. So 10, 18, not the greatest attack, but 18 health is decent. Can survive a couple of crocodile snipes. And then we'll just use the beluga to spawn the crab at the front. 24 health on that as well, so we do get a couple of attacks out of it. This is a lioness team that hasn't quite got off the ground yet, which is lucky because we would definitely lose to them in a few turns' time. But there you go, you can see the Rhino doing 30 damage, but because it was so far into the round, there was only one unit left, even though the level 2 Rhino would normally get to snipe twice. So what are we looking for now? Just the mushroom, I guess. And there's another coconut crab. We need to freeze that. Yep. And there we go. There's the mushroom. So we can start assembling the team properly next turn. Here's Matchman with a very funny volcano snail plus fringe head team. I guess the idea is that the toasty goes onto the blowfish and get an extra activation. I think that's going to be pretty tough to win with. Although I think Matchman might have already uploaded that. I'll check and put the link in the description if it has been done already. So we take the mushroom. We're just going to let the additional 1/1 level 3 beluga get launched off the screen. Here's Globe Gamer. And I don't know if Globe still uploads anymore. But if so, I'll link the channel in the description. And here's the perfect kind of team you want to face. You know, the Spino stats are getting concentrated onto the jellyfish, but then the high damage from the Black Rhino gets rid of it with very little effort. Now we're looking for the pill, the classic dilemma, and here we go. We find another pill bug, so we can get the first coconut crab. Of course, the problem here is now we have to also feed the coconut crab 3 times, which is why I have strawberry jam in the pack. It's not there for anything other than being a 1 gold food. And we also find another coconut crab in the shop, which we'll need for the second beluga. Fairly typical late game team with the double wide scaler and Bakunawa, so we're definitely going to lose there. And now time to activate the coconut crab. Because of the strawberry jam only costing 1 gold, it gives us a much better chance of actually getting the activation in 1 turn instead of having to buy 3 foods, 3 gold foods. You can, of course, get those nightmare scenarios where you roll double pill with only 3 gold left. But strawberry jam does kind of take care of that. Now the cobra does hit the coconut there twice, which is pretty unlucky. I guess we were probably going to lose this anyway, but the Rhino doesn't even get to a snipe there, which is super frustrating. So same again, level 3 coconut crab inside the beluga, and we'll pill it again. Like I said earlier, I'm not sure exactly on the contents of the pack, but I'm sure there must have been some summon pets in order to try and maximize attack triggers. But if not, we can just take one of the larger units. Okay, we're going to take the turtle, it looks like, which just allows us to replenish the melon if it happens to get sniped or hit by an ailment. And I do get the double chocolate here, but we can't actually feed any chocolate to the coconut crab because it's already level 3. If you've never tried that before, you just get invalid target. Actually, here's Marco, and he had Baguette there, which is really painful because we lose the full value of the triple coconut. But luckily the rhino snipes actually mattered there. And we get the carrot in order to activate the triple coconut. So fingers crossed for low disruption in this next round. And it's an absolutely perfect opponent from Metis. Almost all barnacles, which means all of the coconut crab attacks go off. But as you can see, there weren't any units left in order to actually activate a second time. And I suppose even if we had, they would have probably been small summons anyway.